And what an evening it's been. A massive outpouring of emotion there in Mumbai with fans in lakhs coming out to welcome Team India. To talk about this and of course India's superlative performance at the T20 World Cup, joining us is former India player Saba Karim. We also have with us ace commentator Jatin Sapru joining us. Let me start with you first, Saba. You know, for you at this particular moment, when you look at the huge outpouring of emotion, were you expecting this kind of a welcome? We all knew there's going to be a grand ceremony. We've all seen what's happened in 2007 where a planned 2-hour journey ended up taking 5 hours. But this is really something else.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Not of this magnitude, because before this had happened, I think in 2011 when India won the World Cup, that was in Mumbai under the leadership of MS Dhoni, and so a lot of people came out to support the side and also to acknowledge the fact that the team had worked so hard. But this is something unbelievable, and I don't think even the players who would be part of this or when they saw this kind of surge of crowd would have expected something like this. So this is a heady feeling, and I think more important is to understand that this will inspire the other cricketers in the side, or all those who are still vying to find a place in the national side, that if you do well, if you win this kind of an event, if you win a World Cup, this is the kind of outpouring you will get to see from the Indian fans.
Right. And in fact, let me take this across to Jatin Sapru as well. Jatin Sapru, you know, you were part of the Hindi commentary panel during the last few overs. In fact, when Surya Kumar Yadav took the catch of David Miller, you were, commentating at that point of time, and the excitement in your voice was quite palpable. Take us through what was going on in your mind, and if you could discuss with us, in fact, what you were thinking at that point of time.
Thanks for having me. I think it was one of the sweetest wins that India have had. I remember being there in 2011 as well, but there came a point in time where India wrested control of that game after a few crucial partnerships. But this one, it almost seemed that after the 15th, 16th over, South Africa were in the driver's seat. And that is when, you really tested as a team, because it's not just about performance on the field. That is the moment where all the players, not too long ago, quite a few of them were part of the 50-over World Cup, and same thoughts keep circling back. You're again thinking, geez, that's another game that we were expected to win, but it seems to be slipping away. And that is where that champion mindset really kicked in. The way the team brought that game back. It was the bowlers who were really stars of the entire World Cup campaign, and for them to stand up in that moment and to redeem, I think it was an emotional roller coaster, but this is what champion teams are made of. When the game seems all but over, they come back and they create those moments of magic, and that's what this team did. And it was just phenomenal to just watch the last 4 or 5 overs, and the body language and the way they did not give up.
And what about that moment of Surya Kumar Yadav's catch? Because as I was mentioning earlier, the Hindi commentary, you sounded extremely excited at that point of time. And of course, all of us fans in India here were excited as well. Would you like to relive that moment?
So usually we have commentary in stints of 4 overs. And I came on the 16th over and we saw that Kuldeep and Akshar over, and you felt that, this is a game for South Africa to control. You don't really prepare for these moments. Deep within there is a fan. You obviously have to be neutral. You appreciate good cricket. And if the opposition plays good cricket, you've got to do justice to that part. Also, Hindi commentary feeds to everyone in India. So primarily it's going to our Indian audiences. So there is that fan within, and that fan goes through the same emotions. It's just that you can't put out the same emotions in a matter that fans would. So when Hardik Pandya got the wicket of Henry Klaasen, which I thought was an absolute defining moment for the team, for Hardik Pandya, Jasprit Bumrah was almost a given, and the way he broke past Marco Jansen's defense. And I remember just before that ball, I had said, can Bumrah break through Jansen's defense? Because he may not go for a big shot. Can he break through his defense? He broke through his defense. Then coming down to the last over, then again your hopes are up, because you're looking at 16 runs, your hopes are up. And I was commentating from the Joel Garner end, where David Miller was batting right in front of me. And when he hit that low full toss, just the first reaction was, ye to gaya, to 6 gaya. So I just took that pause, because, you have to figure out what's the flight path of the ball. And then I just saw Surya Kumar Yadav chasing in. And I knew long off is interested. So I think I said long off 3 times. I've heard that clip a lot. But in that moment, I was just reacting. So I saw long off is charging, then long off looked hopeful, and then it happened right under my eyes. So I just called the moment that the umpire is going to go for it, but I saw it literally just the sight that I had was fantastic. Long off was right under me. And it was just very hard to control the emotions. I mean, if you see the video clip of it, it was just like any other fan, just like punching in the air. But you knew that that is the moment. Hardik Pandya going for the Yorker, missed it, but a low full toss. Surya Kumar Yadav completing the catch. And from there, you knew that India was going to win it. So it's an emotional roller coaster. And just so happy to be a part of it because, I mean, I've been covering cricket for a while. 2023 World Cup, my heart sank when Australia won. I mean, they played better cricket. But we've been part of so many of these defeats as well. So, you know, for all of us, we're just fans hoping, praying, and just trying to call the moment, just add some energy. And it was just there.
Would you agree with that analysis? Of course, for all of us fans, that catch was something else. It was superlative in terms of the effort, in terms of the aggression, in terms of the presence of mind, Sabah. But do you think that that is the moment that changed or turned the match in your view?
That sealed the game. In my view, the wicket of Henrik Larsson, that was the biggest turning point of the match because at that point of time, South Africa needed 30 from 30. The previous over was bowled by Jasprit Bumrah, and I think that was very crucial because he gave away only 4 runs. So the pressure was building up on Henrik Larsson and David Miller, and that is why when Hardik Pandya came on to bowl, Henrik Larsson thought if you can turn this into a big over, the match is in their pocket. But I think that wicket of Henrik Larsson turned the game around. I think that instilled hope in Rohit Sharma and the entire side that from here they can win the match because they've done such things before in the past, and I think that is why it came at the right time for India, and they could recover quickly from there and then finish off the game in style. So yes, Surya Kumar Yadav's catch was important. It was very crucial because it was David Miller's catch, and he's capable of scoring those 16 runs in the last over. But for Surya Kumar Yadav to have the presence of mind to maintain that balance, to judge the path of the ball, and then to place himself at the right time was wonderful to watch. But I think these cricketers, they practice taking such catches so many times, so they are used to it. But for him, under pressure, to take a catch like that was quite unbelievable.
Absolutely. Completely remarkable, completely mind-blowing, in fact, if I can put it that way, to actually see that when the match was happening live. But let me get in a quick word from Angad Bedi, who's joining us as well. Angad Bedi, as the son of the great Bishan Singh Bedi, what are the moments or what are the emotions that are going through your mind at this moment when you see the huge outpouring of emotion on ground in Mumbai? It seems like the entire Mumbai is out there to greet the Indian team.
I just feel it's very hard to put it in words. It's something I like when we won the World Cup right now. I just put up a post where I said that there's nothing to say, just feel. And I feel that to describe it in words is not going to do justice emotion because we are a very, cricket for us is religion. And we live, eat and breathe the sport. And I feel that, 2011 was the last time that we won the World Cup, which was the 50-over World Cup. And Marine Drive was packed. And I remember being there for the parade. I was there for the final and the semi-final in Chandigarh. And it was just, the air was filled with happy tears, with people dancing, joyous. They were celebrating. And now we see that again. And last time, the cricketers were not expressing themselves as far as apart from Virat Singh, who broke down, and it was wonderful to see that emotion here. You saw everybody, come together and lift that trophy, and there was such unity in the team. And you can also see the fact that after the win, the two legends decided that they've, decided to hang their boots for the T20 cricket. As far as T20 cricket playing, representing India is concerned. And in 2011, they, carried the great Sachin Tendulkar on their shoulders. And I do remember that beautiful visual of Virat Kohli, carrying him. And this time, the team has done it for Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli.
Yes.
And I feel that it was long overdue. It's been 13 years. We are the best cricketing nation in the world. Coming out of a great tournament like the IPL, everybody was in great form and they performed to the best of their ability. and they brought the cup back home.
Absolutely. In fact, let me bring the question to you, Saba. You know, as somebody who's played in the Indian squad, what do you think changed between that final in Ahmedabad where we were not as successful and this time around where we fought so hard? We literally snatched victory from the jaws of defeat, and that's not something that the Indian cricket team, you know, is generally been perceived as being doing. They've changed and shattered a lot of those conventional perceptions this time around.
Well, I think it took a lot of time for the team management and BCCI to convince first up Rohit Sharma to continue as a captain, because he was heartbroken and it took him a long time to recover from there. If you remember, his IPL performance in IPL 2024 was not up to the mark. It wasn't Rohit Sharma at all. But I think since then he made up his mind that if he had to leave an imprint in T20 cricket, then India has to win the T20 World Cup. That the performance in the finals in the One-Day World Cup against Australia was not up to the mark. And I think Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, all of them realized that, including Rahul Dravid. So Rohit Sharma, once he was convinced that he could lead the side to this T20 World Cup, he also convinced Rahul Dravid to continue as a coach. And I think from then onwards, things started to take shape. In came Ajit Agarkar and his selection committee. They had a vision. They had some vision in the mind in terms of the kind of players Rohit Sharma would look to have in the 11. I think this is completely Rohit Sharma's side. He has handpicked each and every individual, and he realized the potential of all these players, and he made them play in those kind of slots. So the combination was filled up by Rohit Sharma along with Rahul Dravid, and they've had a fair exchange of ideas. And I think that is why, in the end, Rohit Sharma was able to put up a side in which only 12 were required in all the matches, except for Kuldeep Yadav being coming in place of Mohammad Siraj. Otherwise, the entire team did not change at all. So that goes to show the kind of belief Rohit Sharma had in all his resources.
All right. Thanks so much for that answer there, Saba. Let me take that question across to Angad Bedi as well. Angad Bedi, would you analyze this being the reason? And in your view, what really has changed from the past 6 months from Ahmedabad to Barbados?
Sometimes I'm a very firm believer that when you peak too early in a tournament, something's got to give. And I felt that we were so invincible till the time we reached Ahmedabad. There was not a single team that challenged Team India. And I felt that everybody was, from the word go, from the first game, was performing to their optimum. And I felt that, it's the law of gravity. What goes up must come down. And eventually that happened. But here, we got a very strong game. I would not say a strong team as Pakistan is concerned. It's always pressure. The game is a very high pressure game against Pakistan. But we were in a tough spot against Pakistan. And to pull something out of the hat like that and to win that game, I just thought required some exceptional skill. And our bowlers, came to the fore and did the best. And I felt that, yes, cricket is a batsman game, especially T20 cricket, but it is eventually the bowlers who win you the matches and take wickets. So I felt that, our bowling was, this tournament was at the very best, and we were gradually coming into the groove, and we were gradually peaking at the very correct time during the T20 cricket tournament right now that we have won. So I felt that whether it was Rohit Sharma's form, whether it was Rishabh Pant, whether it was Hardik Pandya, Shivam Dube got a few decent scores. Also, there was Akshar Patel, who I thought was exceptional with the bat in the final, and that 40 made a very, very big difference, and he bowled really well too. Whether it was Jasprit Bumrah, who's coming from an injury, Rishabh Pant, again, coming from a life-threatening accident, claiming that spot in the team and doing so well. Arshdeep Singh, I just feel that everybody, and the unsung hero, Hardik Pandya, who was under such immense pressure during the IPL, and he was not really in great form or great nick coming into the tournament. But then he let his, bat and ball do the talking. Got some decent 30 odds, got some big hits for the sixes. As far as his bowling is concerned, it was top-notch. There were a lot of criticism on his fitness and his bowling, that he's not bowling enough. But, he kept it all together. It was tough on him because a person who, IPL cricket is a different franchisee towards as far as all them representing the country is concerned. It's a different emotion altogether with the people of India. But I just felt that I went for a few games during the IPL, and the crowd was not that gracious towards Hardik Pandya, but he silenced them all. He silenced all his critics with his performance, and it was wonderful to see him, whether it was him or Kohli or Rohit, or a lot of these players, even Rahul Dravid as coach, the legend, expressing themselves after holding that trophy.
Right.
And that slowly that realization dawning upon them, especially on Virat and Rohit, that I think it's time to hang our boots, and they did.
Okay.
And they've made our country proud, very, very proud.
Absolutely. Certainly, of course, has made all Indians proud. In fact, Jatin, let me put that question to you. What do you owe to India's clinical performance this time round?
Absolute clarity. I think there was role clarity from before. We had to keep one thing in mind. When you make it to the semis, and India has had these unbeaten runs in almost all tournaments, but to have everyone fit and available, I think there was clarity when Rohit Sharma and Ajit Agarkar came for the squad selection press conference. Rohit was very clear, and just the moment he said, I want 4 spinners, I want 3 pacers, you almost knew that India have got a plan A and India have a plan B. Plan A was executed in New York, which was, more in favor of pacers. Plan B was executed in the West Indies with Akshar and Ravindra Jadeja both playing. They gave themselves batting depth, which they believed in, and everyone bought into that theory that we are going to play the way this entire team has signed up for. Now, whether it's Virat Kohli, whether it's Rohit Sharma, whether it's Shivam Dube, whether it's Akshar Patel, everyone was on the same page. They knew their roles, and I think the one major difference was having 100% your first choice side that you wanted, no injuries, no hassles, and the bowling depth. So batting till number 8, proper batting till number 8, and 6 wicket-taking options. I think this has been the most complete bowling unit India has had, and they were very clear with their plans from the very first game against Ireland till the last game against South Africa.
A lot that's been discussed over here, Saba, but the one name that in fact a lot of people talk about is of Pandya and the kind of journey that he's had. From what we saw, as far as the domestic performance, even in IPL, etc., is concerned, to what he's really done over here in this particular tournament in particular. His bowling, of course, playing a key role right at the end of this particular nail-biting match. It's been a huge world of difference in terms of Pandya's performance. How would you rate it?
Hardik Pandya brings so much to the table for the Indian side, and I think that is why, as a captain, Rohit Sharma believed in Hardik Pandya and he backed him to the hilt. For Hardik Pandya, at an individual level, I think this has been a hell of a tournament because he was under a lot of pressure, especially because of his performance in IPL, not only as an individual but also as a team. Mumbai Indians did not click at all. There was a lot of talk about it. He was being trolled, and for him to emerge from there and put up such a brilliant performance goes to show that this man has got a lot of character, and I think he believes in his abilities, and that's what we saw in this World Cup. And I think all this happened because of the trust which Rohit Sharma and the entire team management plus the selectors showed in Hardik Pandya. More than his batting, it is his bowling that helped India to come out on top, because for Rohit Sharma, it is essential that Hardik Pandya comes in as a third seamer, and that is why we were able to have the 6 bowling option about which Jatin was talking about.
Absolutely. In fact, if I can put a question to Angad as well. Angad, how do you see the performance, particularly, of course, the performance of Jasprit Bumrah, as well as, the fact that South Africa's chase itself was cut short quite significantly by Bumrah. How do you rate that performance, Angad?
I just feel that we have the best bowling attack, and we will have the best bowling attack for years to come. I even when we had a low score against Pakistan, I had immense faith in our bowling, and I knew at some point it was the toughest game, according to me, during the World Cup was against Pakistan. I'll tell you why. Because one, we did not expect our batting to, fail that day, but it did. But then again, our bowlers came, to the fore so well, and then all of them, held their own. And I feel whether it is Jasprit Bumrah, whether it is Hardik Pandya, whether it was Arshdeep Singh, whether it's Jadeja or Akshar Patel, or whether it was Kuldeep Yadav. So I just feel that all of them have just bowled so well, and they stuck to their process. They listened to the captain. They bowled to their fields, and the thing is that they held on to their nerves. And I feel that was extremely important. अभी जो नई टीम भी खड़ी हुई है अगेंस्ट जिम्बाब्वे, you see our bench strength. We have a Sanju Samson who didn't play. We have a Rinku Singh who didn't play. Shubman Gill was part of the reserves. There is an Abhishek Sharma who's come up so well, who's going to Zimbabwe. So I feel that we have as far as the young boys are coming in, the new unit looking good and strong. I think India is going to be on the top of the game, especially as far as even Test cricket is concerned. T20 में तो हम World Cup जीते हैं और हमारी टीम अच्छी है, जरूर है. But I feel even Test cricket, when Virat goes in, when Rohit goes in to Test cricket, because I just feel there'll be different players. They'll be hungry to get runs. They'll be hungry for their hundreds. They'll be hungry to win matches for India once again. It's a very big step to retire when you're on the top, and they've done it wonderfully well. They came to a realization. This is also a way of prolonging their careers. Because, it's not easy to play 3 formats, whether it's Test cricket, 50 overs or T20. It'll be great to see now Virat and Rohit, how well they perform, especially when they go to Australia. And then obviously they'll be having a tour of England where they will be really tested well. So I feel that it is also it champions the cause of youngsters coming in and taking their place in the team.
Let's also take this question across to Jatin Sapru. Jatin, we've seen how both Virat as well as Rohit Sharma have announced their retirement from the shortest format of the game. What do you see this in terms of having an impact as far as India's performance in T20 cricket from here on?
I mean, stalwarts, legends, captain, leader in that capacity. When Virat was captain, Rohit played the role of a leader. When Rohit's the captain, Virat's played the role of a leader. There is a very strong leadership group. I'd like to take maybe Hardik and Jasprit Bumrah's name in that as well. But purely the impact, I think what stands out is we know their impact. I mean, Virat Kohli's been player of the tournament a couple of times. Rohit Sharma's got hundreds in this format, like it's a cakewalk at times. We know how big these players are, what they've achieved. But what really stands out for me is the way they reinvented themselves, the need of the hour. I mean, Rohit knew if he wants to demand his team to play a certain brand of cricket, he had to lead the way. The captain is not someone who says, come on, guys, show me how to do it. He says, let me show you how to do it. He changed that. He got everyone on board. So he's added this, to his legacy, the way he managed everyone, the way he sort of reinvented his own style of play. I mean, Rohit could always be impactful, but he could take a few balls and then, convert them into big knocks. But he changed his style. And same with Virat Kohli, to become an opener. He never opened in a T20 World Cup before. He comes out as an opener. He breaks his own pattern that the team wants impact. So it's not about my ego. And this is what he said in that interview as well, that it took him time. It took him time in that interview that I did after the final. He said that I had to put my ego aside. And let's be honest, there were a lot of people out there who said that this is just a format for youngsters, but especially given the conditions in the West Indies, I think it was the experience of Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli that came in handy just when it mattered. And the impact that they've had, the legacy that they're going to leave is just standing up in those sheer moments. And especially Virat Kohli, that knock at MCG, which I don't think any other batter could have won, no matter how flamboyant you are. The knock that he played against Australia in Mohali in that crucial game in 2016. The knock that he played in the final. And with Rohit Sharma, I mean, along with Rohit the batter, I think Rohit the captain, his man management, just how he's like an elder brother, the impact that they've left, they've made a roadmap for others to follow. T20 cricket will probably change. It is just going to become so much about flamboyance, so much about going for the big hits. But reading situations, how these two did, I think that's going to stand out for a very long time.
All right, Jatin and Angad, I'd like to thank both of you for joining us this evening. Certainly a momentous day as far as Indian cricketing history is concerned. A day that will be etched in the minds of not just all cricket fans, but perhaps all Indians to see this huge welcome for the Indian cricket team on the streets of Mumbai. Thanks so much for joining us this evening.